before we find out about all the wonderful things that places that Floyd has taken you to, tell us how Floyd came about. What was the idea? What is it, and how did the idea come about?
Yeah, so it's a funny one because I've been kind of wanting to try and do more commercials and trying to do a commercial and trying to um, uh, like explore the kind of advertising world, and uh, I I was kind of really obsessed with these suitcases that are called Floyd, and they just, I think they just Instagram targeted me constantly until I basically they succeeded, and I bought a suitcase, and I took it on my first flight, and the as I land on its first flight, not my first flight, but as I landed, I found that someone had tried to like break into the suitcase, and what was kind of yeah, I was like devastated. Obviously, like my suitcase has been broken into, and especially because it's a Floyd, it's like colourful and it has like great skateboard wheels, and I felt so fun in it. And so I emailed the support team, and I was like, "Hey guys, like my suitcase has suitcase has broken. Like, is there anything you can do to help?" And then instantly, like a few minutes, still at the airport, I get a call from the CEO of the company being like, "Hey, like I'm so sorry, like about the suitcase. We'll find a way to fix it." And and then they also said that as he was on the phone, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I checked out your website and really like your work, and let's make something." And so,
brilliant. Oh, so you didn't go to them and say, "I want to do a commercial." They actually came to you.
yeah, at that point, I pitched him this idea basically, and wrote this kind of concept of yeah, trying to delve into the whole kind of yeah, delve into the whole kind of. I got really obsessed with like miniatures and Floyd. Their whole kind of advertising is set in kind of Venice Beach era Americana vibes, and I wanted to kind of like bring a little humor to their brand, and they do it so well already. And yeah, we kind of sat down and wrote it, and then decided to get going.
Yeah. So, let me go back a few stages. So as a model for other directors, this is probably fairly useless in terms of how to get work. I buy one of the products, have someone try to
break it
up in some way, and then hope that the CEO rings you and offers you a job. But
what I would say, like, I feel like I was so focused on trying to do an ad that I feel like it was just in my head until it happened, and it was really lucky that opportunity. But I feel like for other people that are trying to kind of break in and trying to do adverts, I feel like there's, you know, we didn't make this on much money, and Ash was amazing to kind of like creative produce this and kind of like put it all together on no money.
Yeah. So the lesson that does stand is that you can strike up a relationship with decision makers, brand decision makers, through social content, as long as you're not going for some huge brand. If you're going for some moderately successful one who's probably got some money to commission that sort of thing. And you really liked their advertising, so you'd already had that relationship in your mind with them. So what do you think they liked about the CEO, who's a guy, liked about your work when he saw your work?
A really good question. I think he just liked the kind of humor that I tried to translate in my like imagery, and like and in kind of, I used to do like loads of little silly music videos with like a band called Sorry, and we'd have like a man in the back seat of a car with a chihuahua, and like have like loads of kind of like moments of humor in this like big in like all these like little music videos. And I think he liked seeing kind of like being able to tell stories with music as well. He's like, the brand's like very focused on like music as well, and that was really good because
I really like that, because again, that's another thing that speaks to not necessarily following your heart, but being interested and really delving into the things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
So you already have a relation. The third party already has a relationship to your work, because that's who you are. Yeah. You've made things that reflect you, and obviously that was presented really well as well. So made him feel like he could trust you.
Yeah, that's kind to say as well, because I feel like that's what I've always wanted to try and do, is try and translate kind of a style and hopefully try and get kind of hired for that style, and be able to have people come to you for the style that you do, because I feel like that's the best way of approaching things, and it's what I kind of want to move on to now for sure, is to do more like that. And yeah, that's what's really exciting, is like this feels like it's very much the beginning of that as well.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Ash. So Ash, you're part of this whole package. So where do you come into it, and how did you? Yeah, what was your role with Floyd?
Yeah, so I was the producer on Floyd. So as Jasper mentioned, like, we didn't really have much of a budget, so it was a passion project for all of us, really. So even like the people who were working with us crew wise, it was like, you know, next to no money. Everyone was just there on the day, just like giving it their all. And it was a really late day, and you know, I think we had like a shot list of like, I mean, a gazillion things to get through. And I remember us like rushing outside to get the sunset at the right time, and like, you know, it was a bit of a manic process, but it just, I don't know, it all just fell into place, which was quite nice. As a producer, you want that to obviously happen, and it doesn't usually, but sometimes it does. And this was like, I don't know, our love child. It's all quite nice. And since then, it's like, I don't know, it's taken our whole life on its own, really. Like we made it as like a bit of a spec ad, really, to see, you know, what we can do together. And you know, since it came out, you know, obviously it did very well at the Shines, which is, you know, thank you so much for.
It's a big pleasure. I'm just going to hold you there. I just want to pick up one more thing about the idea before we move on to its fabulous success. So you were saying that Floyd's main positioning was around Venice Beach and very much an American vibe, and this is very much not an American vibe. So what were you doing there, and were you both thinking ahead and thinking, if we make something really great here, it will catch people's eye and it's our calling card?
It's funny, because I think that one part isn't American at all, and it's very British, and like definitely it's something that for the next Floyd ads, we're gonna kind of like, I'm gonna present it much more in the Americana world, but also still giving kind of a bit of my taste and our taste onto it. But I think what I took from Venice Beach was this kind of surrealness of I remember when I was walking down it, seeing these like bodybuilders working out, and I feel like that's what I wanted to take from it, and take just a moment from it and a scene from it, and kind of make it in a place that I know quite well, which was Hastings. And what would happen if you brought kind of this bodybuilder to Venice Beach, like to Hastings Beach instead of Venice Beach. And I think that worked out quite well that we did that, basically. But we found Dan. Dan's incredible. He's like, we were like messaging people on face bodybuilding Facebook groups, like, and then like I was like scrolling through different types of bodybuilding gyms in London, and there was like an East London one that you could see the photos of people, and they had their numbers. And I remember just calling Dan, being like, hello Dan, do you want to potentially be part of, like, do you want to be a bodybuilder in my film? And like, he was like, yeah, come, he was actually like, yeah, man, I love that, like, that's great.
His voice in the ad.
And it's his voice, and he's actually...
Well, he's a trainer, isn't he? He's a personal trainer for, like, Ralph Fiennes, like, all these big actors and stuff. So he was like, oh, it's now my shot at acting. So, thanks for giving me a chance. And he's just amazing. Like, if it wasn't for Dan, I mean, you know, with everything else involved, like he makes it, right? Like he is such a strong character and has such a strong voice.
He's so good.
And yeah, if it wasn't for him, I don't know what we. I'd have had to have done it, you know.
So get the muscles out, and but yeah, Dan was incredible in it, and it was his first time acting, and he was actually like a bodybuilder, which I think worked really well as well.
Did you go through many people that said no, or that you decided you didn't want before you got there?
It was really tough, because it was like loads of people would either not get back, or they'd be like no, or they'd, you know, often some of them would be like some of them would be not really know what it was for, but a lot of them were up for it, but then they didn't stand out in the kind of auditioning, and it felt like Dan really just like had this presence that no one else did.
Well, I think tonally, some people they get the comedic aspect of things, but it's the way you deliver lines, and I think Dan just got that right. You know, he just nailed it, and that was just him. So it's just like, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, he's great. So, yeah.
So fun. I mean, it's such a brilliant film. What did you do with it when? Where did you go for post, by the way?
So we went to a few different places. So we went to MSE, who have just been huge supporters of the whole thing. Rebecca and Faye, like they really have supported us the whole way, which, you know, it means so much to us. Went to Sharon, who was at Avenues, but she's now at Wash for the grade. And then Tom Keats at Grand Central. So Grand Central have been really helpful throughout the whole thing as well. And
they were helpful on the budget side as well, presumably.
Oh, from the budget side, it's a lot of favours. Again, everyone's just been so kind with their time. It's time, isn't it? It's not money at the end of the day. It's people's time.
Yeah. And it's hoping that you're going to be great, which obviously you are. So.
Well,
and one day.
Very kind. So.
So tell us about, you finished it, you know it's wonderful, in your heart you're really happy with it, it's all you hoped for it. Then what happens?
So I mean, that was kind of crazy, because we went out to it was really weird. It was like I was living in Berlin for the month before, and then suddenly I found out it had been nominated for Berlin commercials, and then I found out that Shiny, it had been nominated for Shiny, and then we were kind of like, we need to go out to like Berlin again, and we need to go to Amsterdam, and we weren't really expecting that much, and I definitely wasn't, and I feel like I'm quite shy as well, so when you guys announced it, I was looking back at the video, and it was like
I made you stand up.
Yeah, I think Ash made me stand up, and I just stood up for like but yeah, that was like such an incredible moment, and I'll always remember that, because it's something that I've been trying to really work towards and kind of dream of for a very long time. So to like be able to get that opportunity, and to try and like I spent like a long time in hospital the year before, so it was like a really surreal feeling of like being in hospital the year before, and then suddenly being like going to Amsterdam for these kind of things, and like and being really blown away by people's appreciation for it, because it was more than a commercial for us both. It was like definitely like a passion of what we want to kind of tell in the future, and what there is to come, and I'm glad people could appreciate that, because that was really exciting for us as well.
Oh, that's great. So did people, out of interest, because I never know exactly what happens after a Shiny showcase, and obviously there's all sorts of fabulous press you've been getting for it, but have people been in touch and started offering you more work?
Yeah, it's been quite nice. So we're doing another one with Floyd, which is really nice. So we're doing another one with Floyd. We might be doing an advert for a hotel potentially. Who met us over in Amsterdam. And it's basically just given us the opportunity to set up our own studio and really find our own voice within that. And you know, the guys at OB42 have really helped us set that up. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been a bit of a whirlwind with everyone just being so lovely towards our work, which we didn't expect.